Join me as I put together the ultimate tech tips for cruisers and see if I can find the best apps and devices to make your next trip amazing and without me selling you a thing. My name's Andrew and welcome back to Tidal Horizons. This is a special topic for me because my career before travel was all about technology and cybersecurity. So let's see if I can pass along some of that knowledge and experience over to you in an easy to understand way without me hawking affiliate links and sponsorships. Many travelers struggle with staying organized, entertained, and connected during their cruise, which can lead to unnecessary stress. From trying to keep your devices charged to dealing with spotty Wi-Fi or the expense of cellular roaming charges, it can be frustrating to stay on top of things while you're supposed to be relaxing on vacation. And let's not forget about the excitement of exploring new ports and trying new activities. You want to be able to capture those memories without worrying about technology. The good news is that with the right tech, you can minimize the hassle and maximize the fun. But what exactly do you need to bring along? You might be thinking, isn't cruising about disconnecting from the digital world? And you're right, it is. But let's be real, many of us want to stay connected to our loved ones back home, share our experiences on social media, and have access to important information like ship schedules and excursion details. Cruisers are going to rely on technology more and more, so let's get ahead of it. Let's start with the most basic item on the list. Make sure you have your cruise line's app downloaded and working on your phone before you travel. There's a huge difference between one cruise line and the next in terms of functionality. Some, like the Princess Cruises app, are everything from dining reservations to your boarding pass to ordering a drink once on board. Other cruise lines may not even have an app. Bottom line is, see what's available and check out the cruise line's YouTube channel for how-to videos. It could be critical to your boarding process for everyone to have that app available to them on their phones. But be cautious. There are apps available that look like the official app that aren't. Usually, if you look at the bottom of the cruise line's webpage, they will have links to their official app. Finally, remember that in most cases, you don't have to purchase an internet package on board to use the cruise line's app. It's included, as is the cruise line's website, and usually some other basic sites and messaging as well. Understanding how to use the app in advance will save you a lot of grief on board. Portable chargers or power banks are a lifesaver on any trip, but especially on a cruise where outlets might be scarce. Imagine being able to charge your phone or tablet on the go without having to worry about finding an available outlet, especially if you're in a foreign country that doesn't use your plug type. Use that downtime while you're on the bus to or from your shore excursion to top up your device. Make sure you charge the power bank up at home before you go, test it, and keep it with your device. Keep it along with your cables together in a pouch to ensure it's always ready to go. You'll also want to consider a waterproof phone case because let's face it, accidents happen, especially when you're near water. And with a waterproof case, you can enjoy ocean views without stressing about damaging your device. Remember, seawater can still do damage to your phone even if your phone is listed as water resistant. It can corrode copper very easily. This next one is a game changer for savvy travelers who are sick and tired of the massive roaming and out-of-country charges their home cell carriers lump on them. Welcome to the world of eSIMs. All modern phones now have the ability to have a virtual SIM card as well as your regular home SIM. While we're not going to get through all the configuration and the scenarios here, this is what you absolutely need to know. My go-to company for eSIMs is Arlo. I'm not getting paid to say that. I have no affiliation with them. Download the app and pick from hundreds of countries and regions to find out what you need for your vacation. No more finding a store and switching SIM cards or massive roaming fees, or just turn off your normal SIM and turn on the virtual one. Arlo's app walks you through the process specific to your phone and operating system. The only conditions are that your phone supports eSIMs and your phone is not locked to your phone carrier at home, which sometimes happens when you're paying for the phone month to month with the carrier. eSIMs are a fraction of the price of roaming, so be sure to check this out ahead of your next cruise. Now that you have your eSIM, the tech world is at your fingertips while off the ship and exploring. If you're visiting a foreign port, perhaps like the Greek islands, it really helps to be able to read signs and labels and perhaps even have a basic conversation with someone who doesn't speak your language. Google Translate is a free app for most smartphones that will do all that. From optical translation for written text to voice translation and written translation, it does it all. Download it from your app store in advance and give it a try. Learn how to use the app at the grocery store, in the international foods aisle, or at a favorite restaurant. The key here is, like the tips before, is to know how to use it in advance and have the languages you will encounter on your trip preloaded, so when the time comes, you aren't fumbling. Tidal Horizons is here to provide you with real practical advice, reviews, and news to help you have a better cruise experience. If that sounds like something you need, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest. Leave a comment too. Once priced in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, noise-canceling headphones have come a really long way in a short period of time. This is one technology I can't live without when I travel. I happen to use Apple AirPod Pros with noise cancellation, but there are a ton of different options out there for in-ear, on-ear, and over-ear headphones. From noise while flying to perhaps not so great a choice of a stateroom that is too close to a theater, disco, or a bar. Why did you book that guarantee cabin again? Cancel the noise and get a better quality relaxation or sleep time. I've even used them in loud places or when around annoying people, just active and canceling and not even playing music. They are just like regular headphones, no special skills required. Okay, for this one, I'm glad that I'm not sponsored by a VPN service provider because as a professional in cybersecurity, I don't buy into the hype and some of the features that they claim. VPN software will give you several very specific benefits, and while you don't need a very detailed understanding of how the internet works, it doesn't hurt. The first benefit is geolocation. The internet address or IP address that your internet provider uses for your connection is tied to a geographic location. So, if you're on a ship using their Starlink internet service in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, the IP address that the internet sees you coming from is the base station that is closest to you. So, I might be on the waters off Italy, but it could appear that I'm actually in Spain, if that's where the base station is. The problem with this is that if you try and visit a website or use a streaming service like Netflix, those services interpret that you are in Spain, not where you actually live like Canada, the UK, or the US, etc. This means that different content, different languages, and even different pricing will be presented to you. When you use a VPN, it sends all of your traffic from your device through an encrypted channel to the country that you choose in the app, and you appear to be in that country instead. Bingo, you're home. But there's overhead with VPN, which can slow you down due to the encryption and the routing, so you may not get the full speed available to you from the ship's internet. VPN can also bypass some restrictions that the cruise lines apply to certain TCP/IP ports required for remote connectivity and other voice applications. So if you're working while you're away, it could be a necessity to use either a commercial or enterprise VPN. The other claims about spam and phishing that they make, I don't buy as much. There isn't a magic bullet for those. You need to be careful, use antivirus software, and educate yourself. Be suspicious of every email you receive that you weren't expecting. Surfshark and NordVPN are the most popular VPN products on the market right now, both providing the primary features described earlier. Again, set these up in advance and test them, and know them before you leave. See what happens to websites when you pretend to be in another country. Many cruisers have found success with sharing their internet packages and boosting the signal of the ship's Wi-Fi using portable travel routers such as the TP-Link AC750 Nano Travel Router. These devices can be very good for those with a bit of technical know-how and very useful if you're on an older ship with questionable Wi-Fi strength. But if you're thinking of it as a guaranteed way to only have to pay for one internet package, let me assure you that it's 50-50 that it'll work for you. Again, that's with a bit of technical knowledge. They aren't terribly expensive, so if that's something that interests you, give it a try. Alternately, if you have a Windows laptop with you, try using the mobile hotspot feature that's included in Windows to share the Wi-Fi signal with your other devices in the stateroom. Laptops have a much bigger antenna and can easily help boost questionable signal. These tips are tougher to try out in advance, but give it a shot. This tip is particularly important if you're traveling on an older ship because there's nothing more inconvenient than trying to plug in your phone or tablet at the bedside table and finding out the only outlet in the room is on the desk on the other side of the room. Bring a cruiser-proof power bar with a decent-sized extension. This one from Amazon is fantastic. I own 3 of them. In order to be used on a ship, the power bar cannot have the surge protection built in. It seems counterintuitive, but because of the way ships are wired, surge protectors can cause a fire if tripped. Some cruise lines do not allow power bars at all. Check with yours, but I would recommend packing it in your carry-on along with your other chargers and cables. In addition to the power bar, save yourself some aggravation and pick up some 10-foot USB charging cables for your phone or tablet. Again, if you aren't certain where the power or USB charger ports are in the stateroom, it's nice to have that extra length. There you go, a ton of tips on how to save money, protect yourself, and make your time on board more convenient, and I didn't sell you a thing. Make sure you leave a comment and ask questions in the comments. I love talking about cruises with you as well as tech. And while you're at it, hit subscribe too. Thanks for watching.